Hey, I trust that you're well. Today I'll be getting back on the series that I promised that I'll be talking about a good name when it comes to matters concerning destiny. And my scripture, which was Proverbs 22 verse 1, which says that a good name is to be chosen rather than great riches, loving favor rather than silver and gold. And today my anchor scripture is going to be Genesis chapter 3 verse 20, which says that, and Adam called his wife name Eve because she was the mother of all living. And today I'll be talking about Eve because Eve was initially not called Eve. She was actually just known as the woman. And we see that throughout Genesis creation story that the Lord had made everything else. He made man, and in Genesis chapter 2 verse 18 got to a point where God said that there was something that was not good, and he said that it wasn't good for man to be alone, and he decided to create for him a compatible helper, a helpmate who will be able to help him in the assignment that the Lord was trying to give him. And this is when we see that the Lord put Adam, the man, because he was initially not called Adam until the Lord called him, because he named everything else apart from himself. And the Lord put the man to sleep, and he took out a rib out of man. And this is where we see that he made woman out of man, and he said that this will be bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh, because woman came out of man. Until Adam was able to name the woman Eve, she was just known as the woman. Because the moment when God appeared, even in the Garden of Eden, we see that he asked Adam what happened, because the Lord had given Adam instruction, and he said that the woman you gave me has made me fall. That all along this woman didn't have a name. Her identity was under man because she came out of man. And until Adam was able to name him is when we see that she found her identity. And when we proceed to chapter 4 verse 1, we see that, and Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bore Cain, and said that I have acquired a man from God. And then she bore him another son who was Abel. When it comes to God, he perceives a name to be very important, because when God is trying to do something with man, even throughout the scriptures, we see that he will first begin by changing their names, because in the name is the identity of a person. In the name it carries weight. And when God sees that we are not fulfilling our purpose, which is the plan and the purpose he has ordained for us from the word God, he has to change our name. And you see that here the woman was not in her purpose, because she was meant to be the woman who was able to, the life giver. Her identity and her purpose was to produce generations, but all along she was not yet fruitful until she received her name, which gave her an identity. Sometimes we might have identity in the spirit, but what is in the spirit is not what is seen physically. And until sometimes God has to intervene, and that is when we see that he would change people's name. Eve was initially known as a woman, but until she received her name Eve, which was what God had ordained from the word God, is when she was able to walk in her assignment. It was when she was able to fulfill her purpose and her destiny. And when it comes to God, he is so concerned with destiny more than anything else, that he would change your name for you to fulfill your destiny. Today I pray that just as the Lord did to the woman and she named her Eve, that the Lord will give you a name that will help you to walk in destiny, because a good name is to be chosen rather than riches, loving kindness rather than silver and gold. That you will prefer to have a good name than anything else, because it is in the name that you are able to fulfill destiny. It is in the name that you are able to have an identity. The names we carry give us identity, because that is how people know us, because Eve was just known as a woman, and all along she was meant to be a helpmate to the man, but she was just referred to as a woman, and people would identify her with the man, that she didn't have her own identity. That the Lord would even put two people together, because both of them have identities, but it's not that one person has the identity in the other person, but her identity was unveiled when she received a new name. So I pray that the Lord will give you a new name that would unveil your identity and the purpose that you carry. But there is power in our names when it comes to matters concerning destiny. And as the Lord did it for Eve, I pray that the Lord will do it for us. Thank you so much, and I will see you in my next video, and bye.